When we hear the word Dharma, many of us think about religion, temples, or prayer. But did the Manusmriti mean only that? Or did the word Dharma have a much deeper meaning? In today's episode, we will explore what Manusmriti says about Dharma, education, teachers, students, and the purpose of learning. Our goal is not to promote or criticize the text. Instead, we will understand it in its historical context and compare it with the modern values. What does actual dharma means? The word dharma comes from the Sanskrit root dra, which means to support, to uphold, or to sustain. In Manusmriti, Dharma is much more than religious worship. It includes truth, honesty, duty, self control, justice, respect for others, good conduct. According to the text, Dharma is what helps keep both society and individual stable and orderly. Why Dharma is important? The Manusmriti teaches that without rules and moral values, society would become chaotic. People might act only for personal gain. The weak could suffer. Trust would disappear. For this reason, the text presents Dharma as a guide for responsible living and social harmony. Today, many of these goals are supported through constitutional law and democratic institutions rather than religious text. The beginning of education, the Manusmriti describes education as one of the most important stages of life. A child entered the brahmacharya ashram, the stage of learning. In ancient India, many students studied in gurukuls where they lived with their teacher. Education was not limited to reading books. Students expected to develop discipline, character, and responsibility. The role of a teacher, according to Manusmriti, the teacher was more than an instructor. A teacher guided a student in knowledge, discipline, moral values, respect to others, self control. Teachers were expected to lead by examples. Students were expected to respect and learn from them with humility. The purpose of education. Today, many people study mainly to build a career. The Manusmriti presents a broader purpose. Education was meant to develop wisdom, character, self discipline, humanity, responsibility towards society. Knowledge was seen as a way to improve both the individual and the community. The ideal student, according to the text, an ideal student should speak truth always, respect teachers and parents, control anger, avoid laziness, study regularly, be humble, practice self discipline. These qualities were considered essential for personal growth. The importance of self control. One of the central ideas in this chapter is self control. The text encourages moderation in speech, food, behavior, desires. The idea is that to discipline mind leads to better judgment and a better life. Did everyone receive the same education? This is an important and often debated questions. Historical evidence shows that education in ancient India varied across different regions and time periods. Some ancient texts mention learned women such as Gargi and Maitreyi. Time, parts of Manusmriti describe different educational and social roles for different groups, and these passages are debated by scholars today. Because of this, historians study the Manusmriti alongside other historical sources rather than treating it as the only source for ancient Indian society. Knowledge. Knowledge is the greatest wealth. The Manusmriti teaches that wealth can be lost, property can be destroyed, power can disappear, but knowledge remains with a person throughout life. For this reason, learning is presented as one of the greatest form of wealth. A modern perspective. Modern India guarantees education as a right for all. Children, today's education system is based on equality, scientific thinking, human rights, constitutional values. Studying Asian texts like the Manusmriti help us understand history, while modern society follows the principle of the Constitution. Today, we explored what the Manusmriti says about Dharma, education, teachers, students, and self discipline. Some of these ideas, such as honesty, respect, and the importance of learning, continue to be appreciated by many people. Other parts of the text are debated and interpreted differently by scholars. Understanding both the historical context and the modern perspective help us study the Manusmriti more thoughtfully. In the next episode, we will examine one of the most discussed topics in the text, the Varna system. What was it based on birth? Was it based on occupation or duty? What exactly does the Manusmriti say? And how do historians interpret it today? Join us in the next episode as we explore this important, often controversial subject. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.